What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the latest, greatest episode of Tomlin Tuesday, brought to you by the Still Basement. Welcome to another episode, guys. I appreciate all of you tuning in. Should have some fun tonight. And yes, I know some of you guys were expecting the Steel Table. I got some things to say about that. Was running a little bit late tonight, so I didn't want to rush it, but also I had a thought pop in my mind on how I might want to do the Steel Table going forward. So hopefully good brother Kenyon is in here and he'll hear this as well. I mean, we talk offline. Haven't mentioned this to him, but I'll get to that in a second. But welcome, guys. Welcome, man. We got some things to talk about. I'm going to try a slightly newer format, try to run through my stuff and leave most of the time for the phone call. So let's not waste any time here. Let's get right to it. Y'all know I like to do my introductions and say hello to the early commenters. And let me make sure my levels are right. Let's see. Yep. Making sure I'm not too loud in the microphone. What's happening to Wide Diggy? Hello, Angie, a.k.a. Baby Stiller. Hello, Miss Lady. Appreciate you. Appreciate our lovely lady listeners of the chat. Not only the chat, of Stiller Nation. Respect them, fellas. Lay out the red carpet and say hello. Please do that for me. Crazy Ron Gaming. Again, happy birthday, man. He celebrated his birthday yesterday, so happy birthday. I think that was yesterday or Sunday, but I know I spoke to you. So happy birthday again, Ron, man. Appreciate you tuning in as well. To anything that I post or do, I definitely appreciate your support over the years. Lanisha, hello. Another lovely lady listener of Steeler Nation, of the Steeler family. Hello, Lanisha. Good to see you as well. Mark Cunningham, my man. What's going on, brother? Who else is in here? The Arch Steeler, Derek Moore, 412, born and raised. Victory Asher. What's up, Victory? Steeler Cards, Joshua Shields, Ali Howard. B Gamer, he says, down on Fields when y'all had Trubisky. Steeler fans should be happy with Fields. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I'm gonna talk about it. That's gonna be my main focal point. Let me get through this thing here. The master of music, MT Legendary. What's going on? Who else is in here? There's my good brother Kenyon in the building. In the Green TV, Real G Lee. Oh, that boy still got rapper brain. You see, I ain't even do that on purpose. In the Green TV, the Real G Lee. That boy still got that flow by accident. Ralph Lee in the building. Who else we got up in here? Who else is in here, man? Camp So Nice. What's happening? And I think that's good enough to leave it right there. Let's get to it and spit something for us, Sim, man. Them days is over, man. Maybe one day. You know, I don't really write no more, man. You know what I mean? Kenyon would understand what I'm saying. When you ain't in it no more, man, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a such thing, and I'll spend 20 seconds on this. It's a such thing from musicians where you say, man, I ain't in that type of shape no more. And people that are not musicians don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure I could write something, but it ain't gonna be, I would have to be in it for a while for it to be back to that. There was a time where I personally would say it was that. And what I might do, man, I might throw a couple songs up for y'all, man. Some of you all that never heard that, I might just throw some songs up. Like maybe one day we'll end the show with it and be like, all right, this was one of my old records, old freestyles or whatever, just so y'all can kind of hear how I used to get down. I used to get busy, man. No doubt. I used to get busy. But yeah, let's get back to the real program. Now, let's talk about this really quick. Like I said, good brother Kenyon hadn't heard me say this because I was thinking about this on the way home. Was running a little bit late. And also, I thought about it. I think what I might do, guys, because I don't want to take away from phone calls. I want to reserve Tuesday for that. So I think what we might do, man, we might do the Steel Table on an off day. Like, whenever Kenyon is available, maybe we'll do it on a Wednesday night or something like that, right? So it could be its own separate show. And I won't have to take away from Tomlin Tuesday because like I said, speaking of which, Hold on. Speaking of which, room right there. I don't want to take away from the phone calls, man. I love to hear you guys' opinions more than my own. So I think maybe that's what we'll do. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. Having its own night, and it won't be all the time. It's just that when we do it, we pick another night whenever both of us are available. You know, whether it's Monday or Wednesday or Thursday, if possible, or whatever. So I think that's the way I want to go with it. Either way, Kenyon and I, man, definitely want to get back in the lab very soon. Very soon. So we could discuss some things, man. I think you guys enjoy that. And also the ladies. Ladies, please, ladies. When y'all coming back on? Need y'all. I need the ladies still table, man. Please. But all right, let's get right to it, man. I'm going to get through my stuff, and then we get into the calls, man, for real. I'm going to stick to it this time. I keep promising y'all, and we're going to be a little organized now. Here we go. First thing I'm going to give you guys is, a couple things that I took from Tomlin's comments. Main thing that I took from it, obviously, is the injury report. Tomlin reported, obviously, he's already saying that Alex Highsmith could be categorized as out. He also says James Daniels could be categorized as out. So that's a blow. And we'll talk about that in a moment. He also talked about, Tomlin's catchphrase, we'll let their participation be the guide. Those people he talked about, Jaylen Warren, Michael Pruitt. Is it Michael? Michael? How do you pronounce that guy's name? I'm just saying Michael Pruitt. And Cordero Patterson. And it's good to hear about Cordero Patterson not really having anything major. A lot of times when you hear about these ankles and things like that, you wonder if it's something that's a little more significant. But, Tomlin, again, labeling guys like Miko. Okay, thank you for that phonetic spelling right there, Malvo. He says guys like Pruitt, Warren, and Patterson could be kind of categorized. They plan to work this week. Participation will be the guide. So that's cool. Definitely want to see Jaylen Warren get back in the fold. But also, man, who could deny Cordero Patterson? And remember, I wasn't even as high on Cordero Patterson in the beginning of the year. And I'm not talking about season. I'm talking about off season. My bad. I knew who he was and who he has been over the duration of his career, but I didn't know he was going to give us that kind of spark. And he showed us not only in this last game, but he showed us a couple times early on. I think want to say maybe in preseason. So my bad, Cordero. My bad. So definitely want to get Cordero Patterson back in the fold, man, to be another change of pace. He talked about two guys that had, like he likes to usually say, bumps and bruises associated with play. Did not know these. Nick Herbig was dealing with the ankle situation, but did finish out the game, so that's always good. But then also he talked about Benton, and if anybody may have heard a post-game conference or anything, I don't know exactly what the situation was with Benton, unless I missed it. I didn't hear Tomlin really categorize what Benton's injury was, but he also said, both of those guys are expected to perhaps be limited early on in the week, but should be able to finish out. And hopefully there's not anything holding either one of those fellas back, because we need them. I love what Keanu Benton has been quietly doing. For some of you guys that, are just chasing numbers and chasing sacks and things like that, pay attention. Keanu Benton is playing good football. And obviously, Herbig cannot afford a guy like Nick Herbig to not be available with not having an Alex Highsmith on the field. And might I say, all credit given to the Colts O-line, but might I say also we didn't see as much of the same effect with Herbig not being able to be that third man rotational piece, right? So, you take a guy like Alex Highsmith out of the lineup, you now insert Herbig having to play most of the snaps. You just lose that freshness from all three of those guys. And it showed itself in that Colts game. But again, I'm giving credit to the Colts offensive line, but still, I just felt like, it kind of showed itself. So definitely cannot afford another pass rusher to go down. Next thing he talked about was Isaac Seumalo. He says that Isaac Seumalo has a real serious chance of being able to play in this next upcoming game. And when you're talking football, you say this coming week, and like even though it was 2 days ago, you would say last week for the prior game, but we'll say this week he has the opportunity to play Sunday night against the Cowboys. So let's watch and see how he progresses. Tomlin said he was close last week, but they were just being a little cautious with him, and we were afforded ourselves the ability to do that. Anderson has been playing fairly decent as well as McCormick, so we have a chance to kind of let those guys, let guys like SimFBallCritic heal all the way up. Now, here's my question. And I'll ask you guys in the chat. I'll give you my thoughts. If Isaac SimFBallCritic is ready to go, he's going to be the left guard. Who do you put? Who do you put at right guard? Who's the first man up? Is it McCormick or Anderson? It's a good question, right? I have to dig further into the tape because I think both of those guys have played well, but I have to really dive into the all-22. I got a slow start this week, man. I haven't had a chance to look at it at all. My schedule has been crazy this week. I'll get a chance to watch that perhaps a little tonight, but more than likely tomorrow night. I have to see which one of those guys, man. I'm kind of leaning more towards McCormick, but again, I don't want to downplay Spencer Anderson. Spencer Anderson has been asked to come in and hold things down for a couple weeks now, and he's done a fairly decent job. But like I said, openly admitting to you guys, I'm not sitting here acting like I know everything. No, I don't. I have to do some homework. I have to intently watch this offensive line in the all-22 to see how each of those gentlemen were playing, and then I'll have an assessment for you later on in the week, perhaps when I do the before play video. The next thing he talked about, and here's another question for you all in the chat. Tomlin did talk about the process of perhaps my man Holcomb coming back. Yeah, Cole Holcomb. Here's a question I have for y'all in the chat. What if Cole Holcomb comes in and in his opportunities to play, he outplays Patrick Queen? I'm just saying. Y'all know I'm rooting for Patrick Queen. I'm hoping Patrick Queen is going to turn into what we need him to be. But you guys heard how I went off on him a little bit in the knee-jerk reaction post-game. Again, no disrespect to him, but what I said for you guys who missed that show, I said Patrick Queen is playing more like Patrick Princess. No disrespect. No offense, please, my ladies out there. I'm just saying he's not playing like a boss. And I'm not talking about softness, even though I happen to love, the softness of your lovely females, my lovely wife. I have no problem speaking about my affinity, for the respect to the lovely ladies. So I'm not talking about softness and like soft like you're weak. No, I'm talking about from a boss standpoint. A boss. A queen is a boss. It's king and queen, right? She's a boss. The princess ain't no boss. And that's how Patrick Queen is playing. But we'll see. And again, I'm not throwing him in the trash yet. I know some of y'all are. Some of y'all are. It's week 4. New system, new team. I think he'll be okay, but I just need him to step up a little bit, man. Because what if Holcomb comes in there and just giving better effort? Then we got a controversy. We shall see. But that's how I feel about that, man. So let's talk about the next thing here, man. Mike Tomlin came out, man, and he said that, wait. I'll get to that. No, I'll say it, and then I'll get to it to round up my topics. He said he's going to approach this week the same way. He's sticking with Fields. And, they said Russell Wilson may be able to work out a little more and perhaps expected him to do more. And again, participation will lead them into whatever direction they need to go in. But he's going into the week planning for, I'll tell y'all what I'm laughing at in a moment, but planning for Fields to start. And I don't see any other reason not to do that. Laughing at Kenya, man. Kenya says, "Are you calling Patrick Queen Princess Emily?" I'm just saying, man. He just ain't playing like a boss out there, man. You know, he like the big boss, the queen. Ain't nobody bending the knee for him right now. Nah. But I got faith in him, man. I got faith in the brother, man. I like Patrick Queen coming out of college. I liked Patrick Queen at the Ravens. And, you know, whether people want to say, oh, he only did that because he had Roquan as a partner. Okay. But that he still got some talent. So I expect him to at least be able to pair with the guys we got and still play well. Even if he isn't the alpha dog, he still needs to be able to play well. And we'll see. Next up, man, I just want to give some minor recaps. I mean, from just kind of watching the game again, man, you know, and like I said, I haven't had an opportunity to be intently watch the way I wanted to, man. My schedule has been a bit crazy. You know, with my son and all, just to let y'all know, man, he got, you know, basketball training that we got him in, getting him prepared for this upcoming season and all of that, man. It's been taking some of my time, which I love that it's taking my time, by the way. I put all my investment in him. But, you know, that's why I haven't been able to just do my normal 1-2, but I'll be able to do that real soon. Just from what I saw, man, you know, the penalties hurt big time. Some of them were self-inflicted. Some of them were, you know, I don't understand what some of the players be doing, right? You know, like I said, there's guys like, you know, Joy Porter Jr. that has other missed opportunities outside of any penalties. You know, that's the theme of why they lost that game, man. You know, we couldn't get it going in the first half, right? Understandable. You know, you're playing against a good team. And yeah, okay, so they were 1-2. That doesn't mean nothing, guys. Remember, it's early. And I told you all before the game that this was the type of team that could give us some problems. They come out, they punch us in the mouth. We absorb all of that. We storm back. But there were too many missed opportunities by the Steelers. Right? On that first drive, Minkah Fitzpatrick lands a big hit on Anthony Richardson. Ball comes out. We can't recover it. Opportunities like that. You know, we can't recover it. That could have been a dagger at that particular moment. Joy Porter Jr. has an opportunity to catch the interception. Ball hits him right in his hands. In the end zone. Drops it in. Beautiful coverage, by the way. Beautiful coverage. Because I did see somebody post the clip. Might have been Steelers Depot. They showed the All-22 view of it and just showed how Joy Porter Jr., you know, was playing from outside in off of his cover 3 assignment. And, you know, he kind of snuck back in there and jumped in front of the ball. Should have been a pick. We should have been off the field and takes 3 or 7. I can't remember if the Colts scored. I think they did score on that drive, but either way, it takes points off the board. Remember, we only lost by 3, but that's an opportunity that you cannot miss. Gotta make that catch. It hits you right in the hands, my man. So it was so many opportunities like that and self-inflicted things. And again, I think George Pickens had a great game, but that fumble, you know, and I will say this, man, he has the ball on the outside hand closer to the boundary. I mean, you're not expecting nobody to reach around like that and knock the ball out, but still, man, it just, that was a significant blow. We inside the 10 right there. We're looking at least 3. Again, we lose the game by 3. The bad snap, right? And now everyone is saying, you know, Frazier said he was tapped, and it does look like, you know, I saw at first people were posting that it was a ghost tap. They didn't see a tap, but then when you look at it, it looked like McCormick did tap him early before Frazier came and looked back and made a call and he threw the ball. It's like they just weren't on the same page. So again, I saw people trying to put that on Fields. That wasn't on Fields. You know, that was just a miscommunication right there. So So many opportunities the Steelers had, man, to be able to be in position to win that game. And with all that happening, they still were in position to win the game. And that's my come away, man. I come away from it the same way I did when I watched it Sunday. Like, so my knee-jerk reaction was pretty spot on as far as my feelings. Nothing else really changed so far. Now, when I watched all 22, there's always little intricate things that I see. But that was it, man. Missed opportunities and we couldn't get anything going early. Which brings me to my next quick point. I talked about this in the post game. I need this offense to start faster, man. Do you guys realize we scored 24 points? And do you guys recall a couple weeks ago or a week or so when I said, yeah, this team has to score more points? What did I say? What was that number? Do y'all remember the number I said? I said if this team can score around 24 points a game, they don't have to be a 30 plus. They don't have to be plus 25. I literally said if they can score roughly 24 points or so, or at least 21, 21, 23, with the way the defense have been playing, yeah, we can compete, but we got to get off to the faster start. We cannot play where we're catching up. Now, it was cool to see that they were able to buckle down and the offense got going in a time when we needed it. It wasn't garbage time. The Colts were trying to stop us, but we were doing our thing. However, we have to start faster. That is my critique. So again, I want Arthur Smith, man, to keep the same philosophy that he has, but let's start mixing in a little more of that 11 personnel, some of that non-identity stuff. Mix more of that in to keep these defenses and these coordinators off balance and build leads. We can't afford to just not produce points early in the game, man. And if we continue to do that, it's going to be a tough road. But like I said, yeah, the defense got served a little bit in the first half. It happens. It's the NFL. But I still think that this defense is and will be good enough to hang with anyone if we can, dictate the pace. We get up. We make teams more one-dimensional where our pass rushers can cook, i.e. TJ Watt. And that is when the Steelers can, flex their muscles a little bit. But it's going to be tough on us trying to chase teams. So that's the critique that I have, man. I don't want it to go unnoticed that we scored 24 points. And it was right where I said I think this team, if we can do that consistently, and sometimes it's going to be 23, 22, whatever. But if we can stay above 20, like between 20 and 25, so that's why I would say 24 down to 20, we're going to have chances. We're going to have chances to win a lot of games, I think. But I would like to see us do it earlier rather than trying to catch up in the fourth quarter. And that's all I got, man. I think for the most part, the game, it played out the way it did. I, for one, are very happy about the team, man, how they fought back, right? Which is going to lead me to my ultimate point. This will lead me to my ultimate point and the main topic of the night. But before I do that, yes, it is time for Big Hat Moment. The Big Hat Moment. You didn't think I forgot about that, huh? Now, I will honestly say, there's not a lot of these Big Hat moments in this game. Not a lot. Not a lot. Not a lot. But I wanted to show you guys that I can still applaud and appreciate people's, big hat moment, even in a loss. So I have a few, just a couple. Well, a few. 3 is a few. 2 is a couple, right? So I have 3. First one. Pat Freiermuth. Round of applause to Pat Freiermuth. Welcome to the game, buddy. Now, I'm not saying it's all his fault. A lot of different factors that go in there, but welcome. Was effective. 5 receptions, 57 yards, yards after catch. I love what I seen out of Freiermuth, man. Looking like a tight end that could be a threat, right? Along with Donnell Washington. Now, Donnell Washington only had one moment, so I can't give him the tip of the big hat, but what an excellent run after catch. But thank you, Freiermuth, for, posing another threat. 5 for 57 is not bad for your tight end and a touchdown to boot. And the way he got into that touchdown. Beautiful stuff, which is the reason why Mr. Freiermuth gets a tip of the big hat. And you have been added to a part of the big hat moment. Well, we have another one. The next person that will join the big hat moment, George Pickens. I know. You guys are going to say, oh, but he fumbled the ball. Oh God, we could have scored. You're correct. Like I said, let me give him some credit, shoot him some bail. You're not expecting nobody to, as I hold the Stanley, and no, I'm not promoting that, so this is not an ad. But as I hold my cup on my left hand, I'm not expecting nobody to reach this way and knock it out of my hand. He did have the ball closest to the sideline, which is what's taught, but he was holding it kind of like a basketball. Kind of like a loaf of bread. But it happens. But I still will give him a tip of the big hat because he had a great game. 7 catches, 113 yards. There's no way I can there's no way I can overlook that. Great game. And I also will give him a tip of the big hat because he is the lead dog and still able to produce like that. That's what's funny. You're still able to produce being the lead dog. So for that, a tip of the big hat to George Pickens. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of him, man. Consistently being a part of the game. Love it. All right. We have one last big hat moment. That will go to Mr. Justin Fields. Yep. Yes, it does. I'm giving Justin Fields a big hat moment because of his performance, not only in the game, but that second half. Staying poised, using his legs, passing for a touchdown, passing for more than 300 yards, rushing for 55 yards, 2 tutties, 1 on the ground. 2 tutties, 2 on the ground, 1 in the air. How could you not applaud that from Justin Fields, the same Justin Fields that people are saying is doing the same thing he did in Chicago? And I got a quick bone to pick really quick. Y'all know I love Steelers Depot. Those are my guys over there, the whole crew. But I got a little bone to pick with Mark Matsey. Matt Marksy? I might have his name wrong, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Matt Marksy, I think is his name. But anyway, my bad if I got your name wrong, but he wrote an article saying that, is it time for the Steelers to turn to Fields? Can't talk. See, he got me so flustered I can't even talk. He said, is it time for them to turn to Wilson? And he said, and I quote, Fields did more of what he did in Chicago, reverted back to his Chicago days in this past game. Huh? Maybe I'm missing something, but let me say it from this perspective. That was a great game for us, this past game. So if that is what he was doing in Chicago consistently, I'll take it. And I will honestly say I didn't watch every game in Chicago, so I can't rightfully say. But the point that I'm defending is I don't see a reason why we just go to Russell. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that's all I got. So I thank you guys definitely for allowing me to present another big head moment. Thank y'all. Well, let's get into it, man. So Justin Fields is my main topic. Where we at? We're at 30 minutes. So let me be brief so I can get to the calls. Hold on. Round of applause to the last King of Scotland for the donation. I appreciate that. Say what? You said empty calorie game, down 14 to 10 points all game. Last King of Scotland, listen, I appreciate your comment, but I respectfully, I say this with all due respect, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand how if a team is in position to win a game or tie with their last possession, how could any part of the game be empty calories? I want you to explain that. I'm gonna wait for a second. I want you to explain, how is it possible if a team has brought themselves back from being down 17-3 at one point, and they have possession of the ball with momentum, with a possibility to score or field goal, possibility to tie or win, how could it be empty calories? But I see what type of time some of you guys are on. And it's cool. Because I see MT Legendary says he agreed Fields fumbled the ball in the most critical point of the game. I don't care about. Let me say this. Because see, this is what they're going to say. This is what they're going to say, y'all. The same thing they do anytime I do. You remember how they used to do? This is cute. I stumbled upon this topic. It just popped up in my head. Remember how some of these same people used to criticize and blame me for coddling Kenny Pickett? Do you guys remember that? Remember they used to say, "Oh, you're trying to protect him." So I guess, am I doing the same thing for Justin Fields? Or could it be that I just see different potential than some of you guys do? This is hilarious. Because here's the thing, I don't have any stake in Fields. Same way I didn't have any stake in Kenny Pickett, both in which were new to the team that I support, right? But in my view, my POV, Justin Fields, got to watch the film, but the first fumble that actually he was down, that one, pressure was in his face. He's running for his life. Maybe you shouldn't run backwards. I get it. But he's trusting in his legs. We've seen many quarterbacks do that. Not making an excuse, just making an observation. That last fumble, I would love to know how is that on Justin Fields? When Justin Fields ain't even looking for the ball. So what cracks me up, guys, I don't understand why we as fans build narratives around players that ain't there, in my opinion. What does it do for you to just completely dog this guy? I don't understand it. I won't try to understand it. I think he played well. I think he's playing well. I think he's getting better as he plays. I think he's clearly outproducing what Kenny Pickett did. I think I'm going to go as far as to say this. Today, yes, I do see a future with Justin Fields being the future franchise QB. Until he proves me wrong. I'm sure there's a couple of reads here and there. Oh, he didn't pull the trigger. I'm sure. Just like most quarterbacks, young ones. But you ain't telling me that you don't see progress from this dude. And if that's how you feel, let's do one of these. Let's agree to disagree, because you're losing me. But whatever. Okay, y'all say it's his fault. All right. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because none of us know definitively. All silent count, all of that. So I guess y'all are just saying he's too stupid to look for the ball. So clearly it's a miscommunication, right? Which is cool. That happens. It's happened more than once, but that's totally different than somebody just catching and fumbling. That's all I'm saying, but whatever. I don't care. Some of y'all, for whatever reason, don't like Justin Fields. Whatever. Happy that you guys are here and join me, but I don't care. I don't know what y'all saying, so I'm cool. Let's take some phone calls. I've learned to do that a little bit now, too. I'm not going to just entertain stuff that I don't agree with. I will acknowledge it, but come on, man. Y'all talking crazy. Got a lot of phone calls here. Don't know if we'll get to them all, but I'm going to try to get through some. First up in the queue, we have area code 443. What you got for us?
What's good, Sim? Good evening to everyone. Good evening to the ladies in the chat. Real quick, man. Nobody's going to like anything that the Steelers do when they lose. And it is what it is, man. You've been around long enough. Like Kenyon said, he's been around long enough to know. Justin Fields didn't revert back to being the old Justin Fields in Chicago, because if he did, the Steelers might have lost 27-0 and not 27-24. The other thing with that is everybody's supposed to be fired, right? I guess. You know what I mean? And sometimes you just got to tell people, man, sometimes they just need to fire themselves. For all those that want somebody to be fired, fire yourselves. How about that? The Steelers will be all right, man. Justin will be all right. He's going to be the quarterback to Joe. And we're going to just keep it rolling. Last thing is the offensive line, man. I'm always continue to say this, Sim. I've been saying it to you for a minute. I'm going to keep talking about Pat Meyer, man. Because we got new pieces on that line. We keep bringing people in and out, and you can't sit here and tell me that everybody that we bring in don't know how to block or keep blowing assignments or keep having issues trying to block. I'm going to start having to do a point the finger at Pat Meyer, man. And that's pretty much all I got, so appreciate you, man.
Man, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the call, and you're right. Sometimes you got to just fire or retire yourself as a fan, man, because it's some of you guys ain't never gonna be happy. Like for example, these are the comments that I don't understand. MT Legendary says no more excuses on Fields and da da da. Here's the funny thing. I don't think none of us in the fan base, unless people who are just super duper lifetime fans of Justin Fields, I don't think none of us are making excuses for him at all. I don't care who the quarterback is as long as he's producing. One of my favorite quarterbacks is sitting on the bench. And yet I still say Justin Fields should play, because let me tell you something. We have Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, and Kyle Allen. And I want you to explain to me how, and with facts, the best you can, of course. None of us can give real facts, but I want you to outline to me how Russell Wilson makes that a better game. Keep in mind, we couldn't run the football. Keep in mind, Justin Fields had to run quite a bit and scored twice with his legs. We moved the pocket quite a bit. So I just want to know, based off of the game plan, how does Russell Wilson make that better? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, what I'm going to do to you, MT Legendary, like I have had to do with other people in regards to other topics. There's some topics I'm going to do like Mike Lowry and Bad Boys 2. We're going to take that and put this in this little box, and we're going to throw it deep in the ocean, and you're going to have to be Jack Cousteau to get it. The whole topic of debating about Fields, and I'm done. I'm done answering that statement. Have at it in the chat. But I will not respond to you in regards to that anymore, because clearly we are just not going to agree, which is fine. Carry on. Let's get the next call, man. Area code 202. What you got?
Yes. Well, what's the difference a week make? I was here in LA seeing the game locally when we were playing the Chargers, and I didn't have to go to a bar. The next week, we play Indianapolis, and everything falls apart. But I will share this with you. There's four things I want to, topic on. I saw the All-22, and when I saw that, I was very disturbed because Najee Harris was taking very bad angles. Now, I used to play in the Canadian League. Now, if Najee was playing in the Canada League, he would get a lot of yards because the fields are so wide. You got a couple Walmart parking lots. But the angles he was taking Sunday, that's why he had an average of 1.7 yards a carry. That is garbage, okay? Now, that's probably why he's not getting his fifth option taken care of, okay? By us not being able to run, I don't think Arthur Smith was very creative. Kind of remind me of some Matt Canada about his ways in the first half. That was atrocious, to say the least. So he didn't adjust well in the first half. Now, Justin Field had to play the Superman role. So whoever's, criticizing Justin Field, outside of that mistake, he carried the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? Now, if Mike Tomlin goes back to Russell Wilson, you think they talk about Tomlin bad now? Let him go back to Wilson. Let him go to Wilson and see what happens. So, as far as I'm concerned, you can trade him to Miami. It's Russell Wilson. It's Justin Fields' job because he carried that team. And as far as, the fumble with, my man, the receiver, I forgot his name, he didn't own it, all right, that he fumbled. But Justin Field took the blame for everything he done. So you got to give the character and the way he handled it, that's got to be an A+. That got to be a passing grade because everything else was a failing grade. Now, what we also see that if the defense don't come in a fast ram, or to say if they don't carry us in the first half, because we start slow, typically, our offense don't recover well. We're not an explosive offense as of yet. So we got to get off a good start. We got to do like Baltimore. Jump on them often and early. But if you don't play and come back, we could have won. We got a 16th ranked defense against the pass. So I believe a little bit of that analytics was in our favor as far as the pass defense of the Colts. They're middle of the road on every statistics. So there's no reason why we couldn't win this game. But I also say that we beat ourselves. It's not the Colts that beat us, okay? So with that principal point, and by the way, here's my suggestion to you, Slim. Try to understand these people about the amount of what I consider the criticism and the critique of Tomlin, because he was out-coached. I got to give you that. I got to give him that. He was out-coached. This guy done him twice, 3 times. Remember, he was in Philly as an offensive coordinator when Philly dropped us when Kenny Pickett's rookie season. And he got us last year with Minshew. That's with the Raiders now. And now it doesn't matter what quarterback. 3 different quarterbacks, same results. So he got Tomlin's number. So with the challenge and everything else, he was out-coached. Let's just put it that way. And the other thing I want to share with you is that there should not be a quarterback, controversy now. Tomlin needs to put it to rest, and let's go with Justin Fields. And the people you try to figure out, they're going to criticize anyway. And all these people who think they know football, well, I've been a fan since the 70s, okay? I know that Terry Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls, and he got criticized worse than Justin Fields, okay? Just keep that in remembering, and that's all I have.
Appreciate the call for sure. I just got to say, guys, y'all got to keep it shorter than that. I can't even remember everything that was said. And my brother, you said a lot of good stuff, but I can't recap it. It was too much. Y'all got to keep these calls shorter if I'm going to get through them. But anyway, I do want to comment on what you said. The one piece that I remembered, and I was just, you probably could see I was responding visually without even talking. I try to stay away from speculation. Let me explain what I'm saying. I want guys and gals, I want y'all to give me meat. Pause. Whoa. Hey, yo. I want y'all to give me some meat with the potatoes, man. Right? You got to explain to me when you say somebody was outcoached or yada, yada, yada. You got to tell me how. And this is the only reason why I'm saying that in this case. The Steelers were in position to win the game, right? Maybe they got us early. We must have made some adjustments. See, I hadn't watched the 22 yet, so I can't definitively say it, but I want people to point out these things. When people say somebody's a bad player, somebody sucks, this coach got out coached, Tomlin got out, I need you to tell me how. Because what I saw, without even looking at the 22, I saw a team that stayed together. They fought back. I saw a team do what he always says of that whole don't blink. And they fought back and they were this close from potentially tying or winning. So that's all I'm saying. I want you to give me some examples so I could point to that and be like, oh, yeah, you got a good point. Because to me, in this game, what lost this game? Missed opportunities. It may have been some coaching things. I don't know. But I'm saying from most of us watching the game, it was missed opportunities why they lost. Yeah, the coach was gashing them early. But again, we made some type of adjustments. I don't know if I give all the credit to Tomlin or if I give some of the credit to Arthur Smith or Terrell Austin, whoever is responsible for helping that comeback. But it's just harder for me to, you understand what I'm saying? Yo, that me comment was crazy, yo. I just come from a different era, so I'm always gonna laugh those comments off, man. But that's all I'm saying. I'm not discounting what you're saying, but I'm saying I need some details. It's easy for us to say these things when things don't go our way. But my question would be, here's the question. Had we came back in that final drive and won, this is the question I have. Would we still be saying that? I'm always going to say that. It can't always be results driven. If the Steelers don't fumble that snap and they win, are we still looking at that game and saying he got outcoached? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know it, Kenyon. I'm trying. Area 318, what you got for us?
Well, what's up, Bump? First, I want to show love to both teams. Colts, they came in there and did their thing. But yeah, man, it's just mistakes, bro. It's just mistakes, huh? We gotta minimize that, or just be more disciplined. And yeah, it's just. People bashing Fields, bro. It's just like you got to remember. I think I want to say he had the worst QBR quarterback rating in the fourth quarter. So just take that in consideration. He's balling, man. It's just now he's not making some of the throws, but he's not putting us in harm's way. And defense, they kind of let me down, man. Like all that hype. No, I understand. The Colts, they're a professional football team, but man, we I know, like I said, Flacco is a quarterback. He's been experienced, but we shouldn't let that happen. That's my personal thing. But we should be good, man. Oh yeah, one more thing, Cordell Patterson, bro, he run like he running from the cops, man. Once he get healthy,
yeah,
I need now. But yeah, man, y'all have a good night.
Man, thanks for the call. You right. I gotta hang right there. Cordero run like he mean business. Almost like and shout outs to young homie, man. I'm mad that he got injured. You know how like Pacheco run like he's stomping the ground? Patterson runs angry like that too. Not the same form, but you know how you can see like their anger or scaredness, like you said, like he running from the cops. Like that dude running like it's his. He run like he know he a 33-year-old running back. And this could be my last carry. Shout outs to that brother, man. Cordero, you doing your thing, man. I hope we can get him back out there soon. But yeah, that was an excellent point. And yeah, man, Flacco, and you know what? I'm gonna go to this comment right here, and I fully agree with Victor Gonzalez. He says the only thing I criticize Tomlin for is that zone defense. We need to go away from that. And this is the only part I would modify. I agree with you, Victor. It's when we do it, we give up the inside dog. It is unbelievable how much we shade them. We shade the outside and force them inside. If y'all really watch the game, it's ridiculous how many times people are running slants or skinny posts against us. Because when we end zone and our corners are backing up, it's like they're turning and just letting them go inside. And my thing to that would be, how about some of these times? Let's go mano a mano. You can't go to man all game either. You got to mix it in. But even when we run zone, can we reduce some of that space? And, I don't know how far they lining up off the receiver. Let's say they lining up 8 yards. Can we cut that down to like 5? And play more in the face? In the face. Can we? Dog, it kills me to see how much space we give up. And you don't even really see people chucking people when they come through the lane. It's like, that's a coaching thing that we all can pretty much identify. That is an example. Not just, oh, he got outcoached. No, give me some examples of why you think that. And I'm not battling any of you guys. I don't know everything. I told y'all, I don't want that. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. That's how I continue to learn. But I know a little bit from observation. So some of the stuff that I challenge that some of you guys say, I'm like, dog, I don't even know what you're looking at. Like, you just spitting out stuff. Like again, I'm gonna pick with MT real quick. He already talking about Shador and all that, dog, and talking about how clutch he is. And I love Shador too. And a lot of people don't. But I like him as a player, his poise and all that. But guess what? It's college. It's college. College. We've seen a whole bunch of clutch and big time quarterbacks in college. Justin Fields, as a matter of fact. Come on, we got to stop doing that. Y'all got to stop doing that. We sounding crazy now. We just talking just to be talking. Area code 313, what you got for us?
Hey, son, what's happening? I tried to catch it last time, but it was a thunderstorm in Michigan, and you couldn't hear me. But this is my take. What's going on? One, I love how Justin Fields is. He's progressing. He's getting better to become a regular all-round quarterback. Only thing to me, he got to do again. You got to certain passes and things are throwing people open and having that timing like Roethlisberger did with Antonio Brown. He's got to develop that with some of the receivers. I can't wait till Roman Wilson, hopefully he gets on the field, because we are missing that receiver. Because all 4 games that we have played, we had Austin step up last game. That was a beautiful thing. But this game, no Austin. Once again, my man catches just one pass or whatever, and it's just George Pickens. That's the first thing that kind of limited him. And I'm going to say this, and I'm just being so right. Everybody up here talking about, oh, Russell Wilson this, Russell Wilson that. Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer. If I'm not mistaken, if you go back in NFL dealing from Kurt Warner, going to Carson Palmer, you can go to any one of them guys. When they get the chance and you put talent around a passing quarterback, they excel. But under these circumstances, we got a young guy that can do it a little bit both. But I say this, Justin reminds me, and that's just me, my opinion, he's Cordell Stewart all over again. He's an athlete playing quarterback. He's working on his passing game. He needs time to develop in that. That's going to happen. That's why we was trying to get this other wide receiver. But until then, we just going to be right there mediocre offensively until we get that other explosive person on the other side of the field. That's what really will open up for him to even develop as a better pure passer. Other than that, the man playing outstanding. if Russ get on the field, to me, he's a blessing because I think the offense was fitted for him. That's why they went after him. Justin Fields wasn't on the radar, but we got lucky and got two of them. So I'm happy with both people, Sim. So you guys have a blessed one. I love getting my input in. Y'all have a good one. Go Steeler Nation.
Man, definitely appreciate the call. And good to hear from you, man, because like you said, I know the last few times we didn't connect. Yeah, listen, man. The one misconception I think people have when they hear me say stay with Fields is that I'm down on Russell. I'm not. I'm not. Can I tell y'all why I'm saying I prefer Fields to stay in? Number one, he's playing well. Number two, he's young. Could possibly be the future. Number three, because that offensive line hasn't been stellar, play better. Fields has had to use his legs quite a bit. If you take Fields out the game, you eliminate zone read. I don't think you're running that with Russell Wilson. Same way the commentators were spot on when they said, hey, the Steelers should be able to sit back and feast with Joe Flacco because TJ Watt doesn't have to play both reads. There was one play where they specifically said TJ Watt is going right at the running back. He know daggone well Flacco ain't going to run. And I'm not saying Russell can't run, but I don't think we're running the designed zone read with Russell. Designed runs with Russell. Quarterback draw. We ain't doing that. So you take an element off of the field that the Steelers are currently winning with. Great. You put Russell in there and he plays well. Yes, I'm happy because y'all remember I was happy when we got both of those guys, whereas a lot of people were down on both of them. I was like, no, hold on now. We got both of these guys for the cheap. These are some dudes, one in which can play football and a Russell Wilson. The other is potential. Let's see what happens. What has happened? Justin Fields is showing potential. So would I be mad if Russell played? No, but I would not agree with that decision from Coach Tomlin to do it right now. You cannot do it right now. Justin Fields, in my opinion, has to play himself out of the starting lineup. Just my opinion. And I'd be the first one to get on Mike Tomlin if he makes the decision to just put Russell in because Russell was the de facto starter. I would not like that. Let the boy play until he plays out of the starting lineup. Now, guys, we got over 10 calls right now in the queue. I'm not going to get to them. I got maybe 3 more to get. I will say this. Listen, it's completely optional, but if you feel like you must talk, drop a small donation in the super chat along with your area code, and I will push you up the ladder. If not, maybe I'll catch you the next time. Area code 302. What you got for us?
Hey, Sim. I'll keep this brief. The person who said that Justin Fields getting all those yards and those touchdowns and said it was garbage time and meaning empty calories. That's probably the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard this season. To say something's garbage time would imply that a defense is up by 3 or more scores and it's the end of the fourth quarter and they're not playing. They're playing with nothing to lose just to make sure you don't get a 1 yard drive. The score was a 2-score game and then a 1-score game for the majority of the second half. Name me one single NFL defense that's playing off coverage, like they're up 3 scores in a 2-score and a 1-score game. Justin Fields is out there dotting up his defense, going band for band with the Colts offense. They score on offense. Justin Fields goes right back on offense and scores to answer. Let me like a question that I was going to ask, but you already got the question asked to you. If Zach Frazier doesn't snap that ball over Justin Fields' head and he doesn't fumble and he leads that offense to score a touchdown on that drive and we win that game, are those calories still empty? Did what he do during that game not matter? Those 3 touchdowns that he accounted for? I just think it's ridiculous, and people are hating on Justin Fields really for no reason. For that fumble, the first fumble was 100% his fault. I get that 2 people shouldn't be rushing free off the line, but you can't run backwards and you can't fumble.
Yeah. Agree.
And then finally, that last fumble, that's 100% on him. That's all I had for you. Have a good one.
Man, appreciate the call, man. And what I do love about the call, guys, we can agree to disagree. You know, I definitely agree with him. And I think I kind of said that on the show. That first fumble, Fields, you just can't run backwards like that. You can't do that. That second one, I know some people are saying it was on him. I don't really think it was on him. I just don't. I don't think the second one was, because I just think it was a communication issue. He owned it. Zach Frazier said, hey, I felt the tap. For all we know, it could have been McCormick being early. You know, so the boy's playing good football, man. What else do you want? That's all I'm saying. What else do you want? He's playing good football. I don't get it, man. Man, round of applause to Victory Asher. Appreciate the Wonder Bread. Thank you so much. He says, not talking, just super chat. Man, I appreciate you, man. Love. Y'all are saying some funny stuff, man, in this chat. MT Legendary, man. I'm at the point where I'm just going to watch and not respond. You comparing Caleb Williams to Shador. Come on, man. Like, college career-wise, whoever you think was better, you acting like Caleb Williams was butt. Like, what are we talking about? I appreciate you, MT. I hope you come through each and every week, but I'm sorry. It's not too many of these comments I can reflect to. When you say something that I could dive into, whether it's good or bad, I will comment. Until then, y'all fight it out in the chat, man. This is crazy. Maybe this is crazy. This is crazy. Next up, man, we got two more. We got area code 651. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up with you, man?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Not much, man. I'm going to say two things. I'm going to try to make them quick. I'm starting to think that Patrick Queen needs to lose that green dot. I think it's a little too much for him this first year. Let him play off of Roberts and just think about playing and learning the defense. I think that's one of the things that's his issue. The other thing is I want to say Justin Fields, man. I think what's going on, this game was a learning lesson for everybody. I think Tomlin realized we got to stop putting this leash on him in the beginning of the game. He's shown he can take care of the ball. He's done everything he needs to do. Let him play. And I think in the second half, Tomlin said, man, take us home. And Justin did everything he could up to that fumble snap at the end. And I really do think it was just, he wasn't even expecting the ball. So I can't say who it was on, but regardless, it shouldn't happen anymore. We shouldn't have that happen. But he went to do what he could do. And I think going forward, Tomlin and Arthur Smith has to say, okay, we got to let him go. Good or bad, he's shown that he can hold on to the ball. He's shown he can get the ball out quick. He's running intelligently. He's not taking a lot of big hits. He knows where to go. Let him go play. If he's going to play, let him play. That's all I got.
Man, appreciate that call, man. Great stuff right there, man. You are absolutely correct. And I'm going to just talk about the Fields point so I can get to the next call and then start to wrap up. Take the leash off, man. Like I said, let him play himself to the bench. I know we trying to protect him, which I get it. And it has worked until this last game where we had some miscues. I get it. Let him do it. Because we were definitely throwing the rock a lot more. And hey, if I go back and look at the 22, we might have even been in 11 personnel more, which I've been asking for. Let him play. Let him play. He's either going to be bang or bust. Right? We need to know anyway. Let him play. And guess what? If he starts fumbling the bag, you got Russell Wilson right there and throw him in and see what he can do. So stop playing so conservative when you got a second option. Like, this is probably the best 1-2 punch we've had in an extremely long time, where you have a real option behind the current starter. Let him play. Let him play himself to the remainder of the season and future contract, or play himself to the bench. You're 3-1. You got a game or two that you can still afford to not be so great to get a real assessment on him when you take the handcuffs off of him. Excellent point. All right, next up, man, and the final call of the night, man. Area code 973. What you got for us?
Hey, what's good, Sam?
What's going on, man?
What's going on? I'll make this real quick. I was just thinking about the game itself. You know, we just played the sloppy football game. We still was in position to win. And then, you know, the Steelers fans are very fair weather fans. They very wishy-washy. So, you know, you just can't, you know, anything you do or say, it just be, you know, beyond it. So, but Justin Fields is only 25 years old. Besides the two fumbled the miscues he had, he played the great football game. And then you got to remember then on Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco was the OG. He's been around. He knows still a defense. He played against Troy Polamalu and James Harris, so he know that 3-4 defense. But you know, it's one game. We wasn't going undefeated. You know, I'd rather lose to the Colts, but I definitely don't want to lose to the Cowboy fan as a Steelers fan. And you know, you have a good night, man.
Man, I'm with you, man. I appreciate the call. Yeah, I hope we don't lose that game, man, in prime time. And hey, man, it might be a chance for Justin Fields to really show himself. But yeah, man, we gotta let these guys grow, man, for the most part. You know, like I think we want instant gratification. One of the best comments I've seen tonight, I'm gonna read it here in a moment, from the master of music. But I gotta give a round of applause to both Last King of Scotland and CT Pittman. I appreciate y'all for the donation. There we go. Last King of Scotland. I'm going to go ahead and put you also in the category of MT Legendary. I appreciate both of you good brothers, man. I hope you guys continue to come through and watch, but it's clear that we're not going to agree on many topics, and I'm cool with that. So he says, put it in context, Sim. Colts bottom 5 defense. And again, that goes against what I say each and every week. I continually sit here and tell y'all it's any given Sunday. I just don't understand why fans feel like that your team is going to win every game and, oh, they're supposed to win. As if the Colts can't. Okay, let me ask y'all this. How many times has the Steelers in the last 5 years had games where you was like, man, I didn't think we was going to get that one, and somehow they bowled up? It's the NFL. Now, I know we can, in theory, say, man, we supposed to beat that team. Cool. But y'all really demand that. Like, you think it is completely impossible for a team to lose to a team that has a bottom 5 defense. Oh, they're 0-2. Oh, it happens. If you ain't playing your game last year, and I was at that game, rained on and everything. If you are not playing the game you're supposed to play against a 2-10 Cardinals, guess what they're going to do with the type of team that they had? They're going to come in there and beat you. Just like they beat those other 2 teams that they had wins on. When you're not executing or when you have mishaps, again, this was not a bad game. Yeah, by definition, maybe the Colts was in the bottom 5. Again, we're talking about week 4. They are a talented football team in my view, but I don't care if they were the number 1 or the number 32. I'm not making excuses. The only thing I'm saying is it's any given Sunday. Period. I'm always going to have that mantra. CT Pittman says 951. Oh, okay. Hold on. CT. Oh, excuse me, not CT. It's Stillberg. I got you. I will take your call, and that'll be the last one. CT says 3-1 and people talking like we 0-3. Bless you and your patience, brother Sim. I just can't. Yeah, I don't know how I do it. But 951, let me get you on now, and then I'll give you the round of applause for the donation. So let me get you on. Where are you? 951. Where are you at? 951, I don't see you. You're not in the queue. I will hang in here, 951. I definitely will hang in here if you want to call back. But he says, What's going on? What's it going to take for the defense to stop crowding the line of scrimmage and respect the Steelers' passing game? Another wide receiver or something else? Yes. Speaking of which, I know y'all already want to say it, and I'm surprised nobody brought it up yet. Probably did in the chat. Devontae Adams reportedly has requested a trade, so I know here comes Steeler Nation. But yeah, to answer your question, Steelberg, I think it's definitely going to take another wide out, perhaps, that poses some type of threat. And if we get that, right, if we get a complimentary, respected number 2, even when we're in 12 personnel, if we can get a guy opposite George Pickens, I definitely think that opens things up, not just an 11, but even when we only have 2 wideouts, because it's going to be too easy for teams to start keying on George Pickens. However, when we are in a heavier set, like a 12 or something like that, it doesn't allow defenses really to double so much. You know, maybe you have help over the top with the safety, but to answer your question, yes. One of the callers said they want Roman Wilson to hopefully get in there, and me too. I really hope Roman Wilson can get going. Because I think he definitely will help us in an 11 personnel situation. Because what I would do, work him in the slot, which he did well in college, and put Calvin Austin on the outside just for speed, right? So when you want to take deep shots and you can still run George underneath and run Roman Wilson in the middle of the field and things like that, I think that could be an interesting dynamic, because you have to respect Calvin Austin's speed. Or even in 12 personnel, Roman Wilson, in college anyway, we haven't seen it in the pros, so to TBD, he's blocking, blocks well. He could help in the run game. So I definitely want to get Roman on the field, man, and hopefully we will get him on the field soon. Appreciate that, Steelberg, man. My bad. I don't see you in the queue anymore, so you may have already hung up, but definitely, yes. Appreciate that donation, man. And yeah, man, if you call back next week, I definitely will get you in the line. All right, man. So let's get back to it. Let's look at some comments really quick. I'm only going to give maybe a couple minutes here, just a couple minutes, and then I'm going to dip. My overarching point for tonight, I am not dissatisfied at all with Justin Fields right now. Let's see how it goes. If Justin Fields goes out there and he continues, let's say he starts to struggle. Let's say he has 2 games back-to-back where he's struggling. Okay, let's go ahead and bring Russell in and see what Russell can do. Because it is an audition for both of these guys. I remind you guys, it's a 1-year contract for both. What y'all got? Kev So Nice says, can we get Devontae Adams, Sim, and what would it be for him? You know what? I'll say this. Probably. If the Steelers were really in on the market of Ayuk, I'm pretty sure they can land a trade for Devontae Adams. I don't know the value. I really don't. I don't know his current contract, but I think whatever it is, the Steelers could make it work. If they were moving money around to bring in, to compensate for homeboy, for Brandon Ayuk, then yeah, I think it can happen. I don't know what it's going to take, though. I don't. That I can't answer. I'm not sure what it's going to take. Not sure what it's going to take. What else, guys? And yes, thank you for posting that, Y Diggy. We'll wrap up the show on that, so I'll come right to that in a moment. Definitely a sad week, man. Quite a few people, man. Sad indeed. Sad indeed. Master Music says, Sim, who do you think we would get if we got number 2 receiver? I can't call it right now, man. I really can't. I think the Steelers, outside of trading, it's going to be who's on the roster. I don't think they sign anybody. I don't think anybody's out there. But I do think, keep an eye still on guys like DK Metcalf and now Devontae Adams. I would probably look at those 2 guys. Let's see. We sure did, Mr. Winningham. I think we stayed in that a little too long. You're absolutely correct, my friend. DJ Trackmatic says, don't treat him like we did in Chicago. He is him. Arthur need to stop being conservative. Open that book up. Yeah, I agree. And for the record, DJ, I don't know if you've been watching the entire time, man, but my title is that because it seems like quite a few people, not a ton, a lot of us are supporting him, but there are people in Steeler Nation that want him benched for whatever reason. They don't see the potential that this kid has. They're not recognizing what he's done up to this point, even in a loss. And it's crazy to me because Justin Fields has made some throws, dog. Yeah, okay. Y'all ain't watching, but I'm not here to challenge your opinion. I'm just saying, I don't know what y'all are watching. Justin Fields has done absolutely nothing to get himself put on the bench. That is my final statement. What else we got? One or two more. Well, there's last King of Scotland. I will say this, King of Scotland, there could be some slight merit to that, but what makes me challenge that is it was the same before. Last year, they did the same thing with Kenny Pickett. And it won't even the same coordinator. It just seems like we're taking this conservative approach. Now, you got to give Tomlin some of that credit or blame. You got to give the coordinator some of that credit or blame. But I will say, even though it might not look like it to the average person, Arthur Smith is opening the book a bit more. It's just that they go with that conservative approach. They stick to their script a little too long, and they don't mix it up enough. But that second half showed me something, man. It definitely showed me something. But I promise you, Arthur Smith has some tools in his bag. What he's definitely doing way more than a Matt Canada is he's definitely calling more types of plays, and he's disguising plays at times, running more setup plays. He's running plays out of the same formation. He's using a lot of different formations, and he's using a lot of personnel. So I will give him that. Just got to let Fields do it, man. Let Fields put a little bit more on his shoulders, man. That's all. But all right, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap it right there, man. We'll wrap it right. Well, one last one. He says, Jay Fields, this is Real G Lee. Jay Fields, if he turns the ball over, we have to sit him. That's been his problem since he joined the league. Remember his first preseason game snaps, 2 fumble snaps, nerves, lack of focus. Yeah, listen, that's an obvious statement, and I agree. If Justin Fields starts turning over the ball, especially interceptions, and you see the pattern starting to cook, you got to sit him down. And I don't think anybody can disagree with that. I'm only talking about what he's done up until today. That's it. That's it. I'm not going to foreshadow negativity. None of that. I'm just talking about today. What has he done through this point does not deserve to be sat down. Did not think the Steelers would be 3-1 after 4 games, looking at them starting on the road. First 3 out of 4 on the road. Did not expect them to be 3-1. I think a lot of people is not giving enough credit to that. And those are my thoughts. But all right, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Going out of town this weekend, man. I got to go down to Atlanta. One of my favorite friends in the world, man. Best friends in the world is getting married. I'm in the wedding. So I got to head down to the A Friday. We'll be there until Monday morning. So guess what? It's a chance I might not even get to see the game in real time. The wedding is at 4:30 or something like that. And the game is at 8 something. So I don't know what's going to happen the rest of that night. So I say all that to say, regardless of what happens, I will watch the game in a condensed version if I don't see it live. Obviously, I won't be able to do a post game. May do something Monday when I get home just to give some recap. But then, of course, I'll be there on Tuesday. But coming up this week, probably have to do it on Thursday. I may still do a before play, just to kind of talk a little bit about the upcoming game. So I may still get to that. But just giving y'all a heads up. Hopefully, we could go, well, now I don't have to go to Texas, but hopefully we go back to Pittsburgh and we get the job done. in prime time, and we're talking about good things. But we'll see. But I'm going to get out of here, man. I'm going to remind y'all to make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Like always, make sure you stay safe, stay healthy. God bless. Good night. Like always, thank you for tuning in, and I shall catch you in the next one. Peace. You want to say it? All right, hold on, guys. We got another piece coming. Peace. Peace.